When clients come, maybe you have one client who came to probably close a deal, you take some photos. Like, you need to be present there for them to see that, okay, this person is even selling real estate to start with. Because they might just think that this one is just posting that he or she is not actually a realtor. But your presence, them seeing you, your presence online, your presence, like you taking pictures, videos, you go for inspections, you take physical video of the whole place, you show them that, okay, this is what I do. They build this level of trust. You have some information, you give it to them online, probably in form of what is it called? In form of content or something. Last time we learned about positioning oneself digitally, right, in the digital space. So these lectures and hangouts are very, very important. You don't need to miss them. So how do you do all of this? Just stay tuned. We're going to be teaching you more and more. So proof. Then number 5. For proof, I said you show them proof, because what the eyes see is even much more believable and trustworthy than what it hears. So you show them the proof that you are a realtor. That will build a level of trust for your client to have that level of trust in you as a realtor. So we'll go again for number 5. Number 5, we have professional conduct. How do you conduct yourself professionally? How do you position yourself as a professional in this real estate industry? That alone will build a very high level of trust for your client to have that very high level of trust towards you, who is the realtor. So how do you do this? Professional conduct. The last time, all of these classes are actually related, so you don't need to miss any session of our Realtors Hangout and our Realtors lecture. I say again. So how do you now do this? You answer calls politely. Probably a prospect calls you. That's okay. A prospect calls you. And I saw this particular land probably on your timeline or on your story, and then the person wants to know more about that land, and you reply in a very rude manner. Probably is a lady, you are a lady, and the prospect is a male. And even without hearing from him, you just feel he wants to shake you, he wants to woo you. And then you reply in this manner that is so unprofessional. Do you think that kind of person, that client, do you think that person will come back? Or do you even think the person would want to continue with that deal? Of course not. Let's not deceive ourselves here. Because some people will say, if it's serious, and no matter how I respond, he will say, it's a lie. Nobody wants to, everybody requires this level of respect. Even a child. These days, children, is the way you shout at a child and the child will look at this. They don't hide it anymore these days. They tell you, is that why you're shouting at me? you know. So imagine a child wants that respect. Then how much more an adult? And then you speak to the person in a very unruly manner, and you think the person will come back? No, let's not deceive ourselves. Then, in terms of still on professional conduct, how do you dress? You dress the way you want to be addressed. Do you, because you're a realtor, I've seen some realtors online, you wouldn't know, sorry to say this, but you wouldn't know the difference between the person and a hookup person. So, a serious investor, what kind of mindset are you already giving to that person? Because some people have it in mind that especially young female realtors, that they go about selling their bodies in order to make sales. So are you among those who are giving them that mindset, or are you placing yourself professionally in order to counter that mindset that is already in their hearts and their minds. So professional conduct, we can go on and on and on to say a lot about this professional conduct. Even this in this professional conduct, like I stated earlier also, you can be putting some educational content. When they go to your social media, what do they see? Do they just see, probably half naked photos of you, or you twerking and the rest of it? All of those is your lifestyle anyway. Nobody will tell you what to do. But when it comes to professionalism, you take that off it. You take that totally off it. A serious investor will have nothing to do with you if that is the only thing they can see on your social page, because you've already given them the mindset that this person is not serious for business. Maybe you are just there to get clients for hookup, not to close your land deals or your property deals, not for your real estate business, for another business altogether. So if you don't want that, then you do the right thing by being professionally, conducting yourself professionally. Now let's go again to the sixth one. I don't know if you would want to. Okay. So go. Okay, so the sixth one is after sales. Number six. After sales relationship. After sales relationship. What do you do after closing that deal? Did you just take the commission and run away? Is that what you do? You just take the commission and then you disappear. The same client you've been calling. Hello, sir. Hello, ma. How are you? This and that's the family. How are your children? And then whatever they say, whether it's funny, it's not funny, you keep laughing. Just because you want to close that deal. And then the deal has been closed, the money has been paid, and then you disappear. You don't send messages, you don't call, you don't. Before that, you were visiting, you were calling, you were asking. But this time around, it's not like you still be, following the person bumper to bumper like before. But then you don't call in any way, you don't send messages, you don't send happy new month or happy new week or anything again to them. You just snub them totally. Do you think such a person would come back? Like, would that person be a returning client to you? Everybody wants to feel loved. The same love you were showing them before they finally bother. Do you know people can even buy property just because of the kind of love you show them? You care and everything, and the person be like, nah, hey, I've made a lot of investments, so, but hey, I just love the way you are, you're always calling to check on me. Okay, because of you, they have built that level of trust for you. So because of you, hey, the way you are doing, meaning if anything goes wrong with this investment, you actually stand by me because of the way you are checking on me. That alone can make them to want to buy this property, because what are we talking about today? Selling trust. You have sold trust to them. So imagine after selling this trust to them, then you have after sales relationship, you have closed the deal, the next thing you disappear. They will be like, are you serious? So you were just doing all of this just for me to buy this property. Just for me to buy this property. This thing happens both in land and any other business. You just imagine yourself. Let's even say it's phone. Maybe you didn't go into a walk into shop to just get it. Maybe somebody told you about this phone, somebody you know, or even somebody that you don't know. There's a way somebody will persuade you about something, approach you, show you this form of I care about you kind of stuff. Even if you don't want to buy it, you look for a way and buy it. And then all of a sudden, the person just blocks you. In fact, let's say it's a physical store, and then you see the person on the way, and the person just, your person is right. So you'll be wondering, did I do something wrong? But if that person continues to maintain that relationship, you are bought phone. The next thing you want to buy AirPod, is that person you call. Your family member wants to buy phone, is that person. The same thing happens in land. If you maintain that relationship, anybody around that person that wants to get any property, you are going to be the first person to come into that person's mind. You're going to be the go-to realtor. But whereby you do otherwise, the person will just feel like, so all of these things you were doing were just for me to buy this property. So next time, the person will not, maybe the next time you're reaching out to the person is, hello, we have another land though. Are you serious? Maybe after like 1 year or after 6 months or something, you just bump into the person's DM again, sending the person flyers. First you'll be like, yeah, they're serious. And now judge yourself, just compare yourself with the odd, like with a realtor that will do the other thing. And questions and answers will follow. So I've already stated some real-time examples where two realtors, one is checking on the client, the other is not checking on the client, especially after the sales relationship, because that is very, very important. This after the sales relationship is what will also build a very high level of trust from your client to you. This will determine if you will make more sales or not. Because you don't know that client you are neglecting, you don't know the person's connection. Yes, you don't know the person's connection. And in selling trust, connection is also important. Because imagine you meeting one person, one high value client who is so connected. He or she, once that person gets that level of trust for you, my dear, you are made. Because that person is going to bring his business associates, like his friends, business associates, and families also to come and buy from you. But if anything happens to that trust the person has from you, you are finished. If the business goes wrong and the person in any way distrusts you, instead of having that trust on you, in fact, both your image, your business, and everything is gone. Because imagine the person is a person of influence, and then you had a transaction that went wrong based on your lack of trust, lack of honesty, all of those. It will make that person to go and tell every other person around him. If the person is probably a business person, maybe let's take all this, let's say Onitsha businessmen, for instance. You know, there's a way they buy properties. If you meet one, somebody in maybe name market or building material, just if you are able to gain the trust of that one person, you might not know, the person might just be the chairman of his line, or even the secretary of his line, or just somebody that is of great influence, and then you're able to buy that person's mind. When these people want to buy, most of the time they buy in bulk. This person, okay, one realtor, or one real estate company like that. You have got it from just closing one successful deal based on trust. You'll be able to close several. But if it goes south, if that transaction doesn't go like this, probably, especially based on trust, maybe you were not honest in your dealings with them, and then they just distrust you, my dear. Both them, like that person, the same way the person would have told those people in his line, that's how he will still go again, with or without them asking him. He will still go again and tell them, you see that lady that met me, don't have anything to do with both you, both the company. You're not just tarnishing your image, you're tarnishing the company's image also. Because they'll be like, is it this one from so and so company? Don't have anything to do with this person. And he did not just tell his business people. He will also go as far as telling his family members, his neighbors, and anyone who cares to hear, even people that don't even care to hear. So imagine how far that will go. It's just like people do, and these days, you know, this is the time of social media. So anything that goes wrong, somebody might just go and then call up your company, drag you. It might not even be just you. You're representing a brand also. So the person will drag you alongside that brand. So as realtors, we need to be very, very careful. And we need to position ourselves rightly in order to sell trust, not just land, not just properties. So let's go to the concluding aspect. In real estate, like I said from the beginning, we don't just sell land, we sell trust. Why? Because land is not just any other commodity. Land is not phone. If it goes bad, you buy a new one. Land is not this one. If it stops working, throw it away and buy a new one. Land is not chair that if it spoils, you dispose it and buy a new one. Land is we are talking about millions here. Land, some people take their retirement money to purchase land because they want to have not just a future for themselves, but a future for their family, for their children. So imagine you playing with somebody's future. So when we see land, let's see it beyond just the buying and selling, just the transaction. Let us see beyond that. We are not just selling an ordinary commodity to you. We are selling, permit me to say, you are selling future. You are selling the future. You are selling somebody's life. There are people who, if they are, go and check what's going on in both Lagos and the rest of it when demolitions and the rest go on. People lose their lives because in that alone, like all of their sweat, all of their years of struggling and everything is in that thing. There's no other business that you would say has that kind of what's the right word now to use for it? No business has that kind of weight. Just permit me to use that light word. That kind of weight as much as anything land or property. And that is why people kill for it. Somebody can put poison and they kill for land. For land, which other whatever will they come and kill you for phone? Unless it's an armed robber that is trying to drag phone from you and then maybe they're not. But for land, people can they will see you go through hell just to get that land. Because land is a high value ticket commodity. It is not just any other commodity. So when we want to sell it, always remember, as a realtor, you are selling trust. Sell trust above just the land. Sell trust. When you sell trust, trust will make it that let's say your first time buyer will be your returning buyer. And that your first time client will also be a connectivity between you and other people around him. So he's not just purchasing from you, but everyone around him is also. We've seen a lot of cases here when the person is skeptical about it, maybe based on experiences they've had somewhere. And then just one person, it takes just one person. One person comes and then buys. And the way the company will treat the person, the way the CEO will take out his time, to attend to you. And you feel loved, just like what I said earlier. You feel loved. Before you know, the person will go and call maybe his brother or sister. Oh, okay, bengo now. Nekwa. Emega, all the genuine. And that person will come and buy. We have seen some that almost all the family members, they'll come and buy it. It will look as though the company was created for them. Right? But that will not happen if trust is not if it's not involved, if trust is not there, that kind of transaction will not happen. So at this time, I would give room for questions. Give room for questions. Online, on site, giving room for questions. So we ask questions. Kindly help me check. Are there questions for today? From YouTube, from TikTok.
Somebody saying,
Yeah.
what happens in a situation whereby I have the knowledge,
Okay.
I earned their trust, I wasn't honest.
But wasn't honest. You had the knowledge, so you know what you told them. You earned their trust,
Yeah.
but wasn't honest. How would you earn their trust without being honest? You have the knowledge, you earn their trust, but you are not honest. Please, if you can throw more light on what you mean by not being honest, I will seriously love it. And that's when I'll be able to answer your question. Because if you earn their trust, you have the knowledge, good. Probably the knowledge also made you to earn their trust. So if you're not honest, you cannot end their trust because all of these things work hand in hand. Yes. If you were here from the beginning of the class, you found out that knowledge was the very first thing I mentioned. Honesty was the second one. So there's no way you will earn their trust without being honest. So how did you do it? How were you trustworthy without being honest? I'd love to hear from you before I answer. Okay, while we're waiting for the person, if there's any other question, you can also take that. While we're waiting for what made you not to be honest, yet you earned their trust.
Nigerian sense.
Nigerian sense. Nigerian sense in what way?
My own is
Yeah.
from
Okay, proof.
now or not this.
Okay. Okay.
Now,
Okay.
transferring and pay.
Okay, so I should explain more.
You explain it, give me more.
Okay, no problem. Please, before I go to us, the person has he has he or she stated why? Not yet. You just
I think when you say it's Nigerian sense that made you not to be honest.
Nigerian.
Nigerian sense. You're still being general. You're still being general.
All Nigerians are not.
I don't I heard somebody just say that. Are you trying to say we Nigerians are not trustworthy?
What happened in the situation whereby I have the knowledge,
Okay.
I led their trust.
You earn their trust. Hey, your question is not is it's contradictory. Your question is seriously contradicting.
Very general, Sha.
Yeah. Okay, let me just
In many ways, we are not.
sorry.
Because you said in many ways they are not.
You're not what? Okay, based on what I said. Do you mean Nigeria? Oh my god.
Other question.
Okay. Okay. See what will happen, please. I know you can hear me so well. I would honestly want you to be honest with your question. I want you to be honest with your question so that I would know how to answer your question because it's seriously contradictory. You said you have the knowledge. Knowledge, like I don't know if you were here when I started. Knowledge being knowledge of the property you're selling, knowledge of the location, knowledge of the documentation that the client is expecting, and everything around that particular deal. That alone will earn some level of trust for you. Then, if you have the knowledge, you are trustworthy in that aspect of knowledge, right? But you are not honest. You have not gained the 100% trust. I think let me I need to explain it in this light. You have the knowledge. Let's take for instance that trust. We are looking at trust at, let's do a little maths, a little bit of maths at 100% level, right? I outlined like seven. Let me just say out of that seven, let me not make it to have decimal. So let's just say we have like 5 major things that will make you a trustworthy realtor. So 5 divided by 100 divided by 5 is going to give us 20, right? So let's say in this case where you have knowledge, let's just say you are looking at knowledge and honesty, and trust is the key thing here. So we have, let's share it 50-50. Trust is 100%. Abi? If we divide it, this one will carry 50%, this one will carry 50%. If you have 50% of the knowledge and your trust is 0%, my dear, you have only 50% of trust. It's not much of a pass mark because nobody would actually trust you just because you are knowledgeable alone. Okay.
I have the knowledge
Mm-hmm.
from this.
Yes.
And your trust. About the land without honesty. Like,
Like,
Take it again, please.
No, there's a land. I want to sell a land.
Yes.
That land is not actually like not my land.
Mm.
But now I'm telling you that okay, this land is good.
Okay.
I have knowledge about the land.
Mm.
Let's see. hold there, let me see this. But then after this,
You're okay, you're not being honest.
yes. Now only me know say I don't be honest. But that's what I'm not doing.
Yeah.
I have knowledge of real estate.
Okay.
I'm convinced that it's
I
not-
think now I understand fully. That's where he's coming from. Okay. I think now I understand fully what you're saying. Now in that case, now use yourself to judge yourself.
Now you know that you are not.
That is it. Use yourself to judge yourself. Because this thing you said now is the major reason.
That's
What
how
will
we
be the
do it.
consequences?
You know already now. You do. You do. Because okay, let me answer it now. I love the fact that this like this is actually going on now. So you have every knowledge you require of this land, and you were able to sweet talk the person. You deceived the person. Let's be honest here. You're not being honest in any way. You deceived the person. Yes, and that's what you're saying. You're not honest, right? You have the knowledge. Now I understand perfectly where you're coming from. You have the knowledge, but you're not honest. But you were able to gain the trust. Oh, no wonder you said it's Nigerian sense. You have the knowledge. Do you understand where it's coming from? You have the knowledge. You were not being honest, but you were able to gain the trust.
Is there strategies to make someone you meet not long ago
Yeah,
trust you, even after showing you proof?
definitely. I just outlined a very
Whether person said that,
okay, meaning that one I said, but I've answered your question.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the question. All right, so to the second person, you talked. Can you please can I please have the question again? The second
Is
person.
there strategies to make someone just not follow the way?
Yeah.
Just you after showing you.
Yes, of course, of course. So I will just give a little bit of an highlight of whatever I said from the very beginning. We talked about knowledge, just like me and this other very wonderful person just finished talking. So we talked about knowledge. So you having a very good knowledge of the location of the land, the documentation the client is expecting, and any other thing, any other development or anything that is going on within that location, right? So your knowledge of that property is going to give you a bit of trust. You know, all of these things comprises to the 100% trust we're talking about. It's going to give you a bit of trust. Now, you being honest. Being honest meaning saying the truth. Don't deceive the person in any way. Don't go and tell the person, lie to the person that is a buy and build location. Meanwhile, you and I know that it's not a buy and build location. Or let me say, I was not there. Let me say, you and God know that it's not a buy and build location. So that alone is a no-no. Then I talked about professionalism. Let's talk about, I'm coming to, I think I'll answer your question with his own together. So I talked about professionalism. You not being rude over the phone. You placing yourself also online. That will take me now to that your proof. Proof now is in various forms. Proof now is that you are showing like you're coming out. There is this saying that you might have a very good idea, you might have a good business, but you might not sell. But somebody, because you're calm or you're quiet about it, you're silent, but somebody else has a fake product and the person will sell so fast. Why? Because he's noisy about it. He's coming out to tell people, let me not use your bag. I have this duster. If you use it and clean this place, even the person might even tell you that there is hypo in this duster. If you use it and clean this, it will be shiny, pure white. Meanwhile, that might not be the case. This one now here, it's not, earlier on, if you place it this way, it will gum like it will magnet to this place. So now, this person might be selling this one now that will not get magneted to this place. Meanwhile, another person has the one that will get, like, once you place it here, it stays. But because the person is not saying anything, and me as the buyer, what I want is the one that if I put it here, it will stay. But then this person, let's say A and B, A has the one that will stay, but he's quiet about it. I wouldn't know that he has it. But B, his own is not staying here. It's this one, he's staying here. But when he comes now, he'll come and show me that, see, I mean, he's staying. He did not place it here, but I've seen that he's staying here. And he didn't just show me that he's staying here. I want to see that he's staying here. He now use it and clean. Maybe he now clean here and say, see, I say, they clean like they shine white. Hypo there for the thing. with the way he's telling me the thing, I will believe him much more than the other person that has. Yes, I'll be interested to purchase than that person that you did not show me anything. You just came, maybe you just kept it aside here. I wouldn't even know if this thing is working. You just kept it there, you did not bring it out. So that is the proof we're talking about.
If someone says, "But teacher, some people don't like it." If you tell them it, you might do it. What's happening in this kind of
My dear, just tell, what should you just say the truth? And that's why we're talking about trust here.
One day we shall damn the
Exactly. Exactly. One day you're going to meet the person that's going to tell you like that will buy based on that truth. Right? I know some people, just like I explained now, just like I explained, this other person has a very good property, but is not is so calm about it. And then the other person that has the inferior one, he's shouting about it. And the noise, that is what's like, let's take social media for instance now. That's what everybody wants to see. People are enticed by what they see. They want to get excited and want to try it out. But then when you meet people and then you tell them that, okay, this property is not actually at a buy and build location, but development is gearing towards that place. You're not lying to the person that the development is starting today, and you know that it's not starting today. But let me still use Oka 2.0 for instance. Oka 2.0 is in Governor Soludo's 2026 this year's budget, right? He might not have started it immediately, but it is there. Before the end of this year, you know that something will definitely start up there. And this alone has made a lot of investors to be going towards that direction. The rush for Isiagu then, that time people bought it, nothing was, it's just that they heard that a cocker will be moved from here to that place and the modern market and everything. People rushed and bought. Did it happen immediately? No. But there's something going on there right now. Yes. So you just tell them the truth. If you tell 10 people the truth, out of those 10 persons, my dear, at least one out of them, of course more than one, but let me just say at least one out of them will believe you and buy that because you're being honest. And that will gain you trust. At where that person is. Thank you so much. Now let me continue with the illustration I was giving to Yuma concerning that proof. So they want to, your investors or your clients want to actually know that this property truly exists.
Yeah.
They want to know that you as the person selling it to them, you are real. I love using real life illustrations. So something happened around December last year. A friend of mine, she wanted to start up a new business, slippers business. So she went online. She saw this lady putting up, just like what I just illustrated. The person was just posting. He sells slippers at a very cheap rate. That the people will sell to are people who want to resell, to retailers.
Wholesale.
Yes, wholesale, exactly. That he's a wholesaler. And he was able to get a lot of people, but he's scam. And they didn't know. And a good number of them probably did not ask questions so well. Because number one thing I would have checked if I were to be the one, I would check your review page. Do you know it was later on when I was asking, did you check the review? Say no, he did not actually check. In the review, somebody had already written there that this person is a scam or avoid. Only one, I don't need to see two reviews about you being a scam. Only one has made me, I don't hands off. Because sometimes these people, they will still, they know they are scammers. They will go and tell maybe their friends or their family members. They write there, hey, this person is real, oh, this will happen. If I see one, he's scam, they will run away. Sometimes they might not write it there. Or even if you write, they will delete it. But then, they will delete it because they don't want another person to know that this is what is going on. That is why these days, video gains you more trust than pictures. So when I was asking the person said it was just pictures I was seeing. And this, they might just go to some exactly, or even, it was even more of these very clean pictures of maybe Chinese pictures, and the red person was just posting and posting. So this person who really wants to buy for business, or even if it's for my personal use, I'd rather buy from somebody who did a video of them. Okay, look at it. Even if you don't have a shop, probably you're doing it from your home, but you're showing me this video that these goods came, and then you're doing this, you're doing that. I'd rather buy from you than buy from somebody that just showed me pictures alone. That video you have shown me, I've seen it as a real life thing. It's a real time. You're showing me the real time. Then imagine somebody who you went to the market, you're coming back, and the person say, I don't bring on a good, so you will trust that person much more than somebody that is just showing you pictures alone. So why am I saying this? You as a realtor, the client or investor will trust you if you do videos. Probably you go to the site, you do videos. Okay, I'm at Emerald Residence Oka 2.0 right now, and we came for inspection, or I just want to show you the land. That person will trust you much more than the other person who is just showing him flyer alone, because anybody can just place flyers on their timeline or on their status. But for them to know that, okay, and then imagine maybe you're with the cap and the polo. They're like, okay. If you now have an ID card, wow. Just be like, okay, meaning I can actually go and check these people's social media page, ask them some questions if this person is genuine, and that alone will even make them to want to do more research and then trust you much more than. And imagine them seeing your video and then going to explaining all this is under proof, then going to your social media and then seeing that, okay, you're posting more of this land stuff, even if you have another side hustle business, but they are seeing that you're consistent with this stuff. They have this trust that you're not going to run away with their money, because like I said earlier, real estate is a high value ticket commodity, right? Then what again did I say about proof? I think I've explained everything. No? Almost everything in proof. Yes, I talked about document. Okay, I talked about documentation also in proof. Maybe you have this client and a previous client, and you want to get some video clips of that sales that happened when the person came, the day of allocation, you do a video. Okay, my client, even if your client is, there are people who will tell you, I don't want to appear in your video. I just tell them, okay, please, I'll blur your face or something. You're doing it because you want to sell. I just say, okay, I'll blur your face, or maybe just turn your back. But then you don't do, okay, today is allocation day for this client of mine, and then you show them that, okay, they will know that this person is actually in this business so well. Then the time of documentation too, the videos that there's going to be made here, you also place it. All of these things joined together will build trust towards you. You said number 3. And please, what did I use as number 3? Transparency. Okay, transparency is just more like honesty also. But transparency, I explained something. I said, like I will today, don't worry, today I'll use Oka 2.0 very well today as my illustration. So let's say for Emerald Residence at Oka 2.0, like I said earlier, it is still developing, is yet to be developed. So imagine you not being transparent. You're going to tell that person, because you heard a lot of people when they hear Oka 2.0, I've heard it a good number of times. When I tell somebody that we have a party at Oka 2.0, people are like, okay, wow, meaning it's in Oka. I will tell, be transparent though. I say, no, sir, it's not in Oka. But the reason it is called Oka 2.0 is that Oka is already congested. Governor Soludo is looking for a place where he can take this development that is here to. Because Anambra, I'm sorry to say, I'm from Anambra, but I'm sorry to say, we don't have a lot of places that are so developed. If you remove Onitsha, remove Oka, and maybe Navy, where again would you say Ekulobia is coming up because of the flyover? Where again would you hold on to? So he needs this development to spread out, just like he's seen in different places: Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Calabar, Akwa Ibom, and some other cities, right? So that's the thing. He's going to be taking both industries, both residential areas, and the rest over there. So you are selling the future to the person. You're selling it because you know you are being transparent. You're not telling the person, now buy and build, or come buy. If you tell the person, you are lying. You're not being transparent and you're not being honest. So that's why I said honesty and transparency is going hand in hand. Yes. So which other one? Okay. 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 So any more questions? I think we are. Are there any more questions? Please help me check YouTube also. Are there any questions over there? Okay. So in the absence of questions, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who connected on YouTube, on TikTok, on all our social platforms, and also to those who are here present to listen to me to learn together with me, because even as I'm teaching, I'm learning. So thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the answers. Thank you for everything, for your time. We don't take that for a joke. Thank you so much. And we're going to see again next week, Thursday at 3 p.m. Thank you so much, and do have a very pleasant day. Bye. Thank you, Ma.